So it looks like my intro video did not play for some reason. And you know what? We got to make that happen. I don't know what happened, but we got to make that happen.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it. Number one flaws, you don't know ball. We taking advantage of that. Got you Karens asking where the manager at. With no cap, no time for the amateur rap. Look, man, we got dogs all over the depth chart. Monsters on the roster. Straighten up that posture. Rooting out you imposters. Silver bullets in the chamber. In a D-line full of danger. Step back with that linebacker trigger. When he pull it, it'll bang ya. Running backs running downhill. Touchdown on your IG reel. Better check the stats. Buddy, it's straight facts over how you feel. Whenever I speak, I'm giving you more balls than German Village or North and High Street. And you know, the average Joe can do nothing with my flow. It's a waste. Somebody please give this brother an I.O. Come on.
I told y'all before, I need to feel y'all's energy. Stop sitting on y'all hands and get this place lit. Like I said, bring the energy.
Yeah, you know what time it is. I'm brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lame. You know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lame. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the...
Oh no, computer gremlin. We are not having that. Gotta have that intro playing, man. What's up, everybody? What's good? Happy Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers out there in Buckeye Nation and Scoop Nation and beyond. If you're listening to this, you're a father. I appreciate you. Respect, salute. Thank you for your service, sir. I appreciate y'all in the chat. What's up, everybody? All the usual suspects. Grandpa Buck, Dennis Moore, Matt, Stilly Matt. What's good, brother? Mello, you know what time it is. Hammer time. Tyler, what's up, man? Is Barb in here? What's Barb at? I'm not seeing Barb. Where you at, Barb? I know you in here somewhere. Either way, great to see all of y'all. Hey, listen, man, look what I got on today. I finally got my Scoop shirt, rocking this joint hard, nice and crispy for you. Funky, what is up, brother? How did you wake up feeling today? I'm just curious.
What's up, B Moses? I woke up feeling like a national champion today. For this, I gotta say that for a second day in a row. I had a great show yesterday with Devin. Loved having him on. That was a great show. And today's Father's Day, so thanks to all my fathers. I'm not one yet, but I appreciate y'all. Y'all change lives out there, and nothing better than celebrating y'all today with talking some Buckeye football and about the national champions. So it's a great Sunday. We are one day closer to Buckeye football, and I absolutely cannot wait. And that shirt looks great, B Moses. I'm glad that everyone's getting their shirts, and we're actually reopening the store soon because a lot of people have been messaging us about not being able to get what they wanted or seeing the merch now, and now they want some of it. So we are going to reopen the store and start reselling the merch. So if you missed out on the last drop, then we're reopening it so y'all can jump on board and get some of these dope merch. I really like the national championship merch. That's personally my favorite one, B Moses.
Yeah, that's fire too. I wanted to start out with this one. I think I'm gonna circle back and get the blackout hoodie and keep that, kind of in my closet until, it start getting a little chilly out again. But yeah, I might grab a national title tee and a blackout hoodie. We're gonna see. But that's a good idea to open the site back up, man, because you see people flossing they gears like, man, dang, I ain't get it. So now we're gonna make it available, for you again. So that's dope. That's dope, man. But so yes, as I was mentioning, happy Father's Day. Shout out to my family, wife, and kids. They hooked me up, man. Listen, let me show you what a couple things they got me. Look at these joints right here. Whew. These are the 2023 Vapor. I think they're called Fly Knit Vapor joints. Super light, very nice Father's Day gift. And look, the simple things, y'all. Simple things. Some Roosters wings. I'm in heaven. I'm happy. I'm happy. You feel me? I'm not hard to please, man. Yeah, shout out to my family for hooking the fathers up with love and admiration and appreciation for sure. Yeah, Grandpa, but I tried them joints on too, and like they feel like pillows, like walking on pillows, like super dope, man. Perfect summertime shoe. And they got me some other things too, but we went out to eat, ate good. It's been a good weekend, man. So I hope everybody's really enjoying themselves today. Happy to be here. We're going to get right into the hammer update and continue to talk about this story as it continues to be a story, because that's exactly what it is. So, Funky, I'll kind of pass it back to you, and I'm going to pull my screen up. I'm going to pull that tweet up from Ross Dellinger as a backdrop. But how about you kick off the sort of the point in the title, the question in the title of the video? Did the NCAA leak what's to come for Michigan? Hammer coming? Question mark. We have a
Yeah,
reason why we asked that, and Funky's going to get into that. Go ahead, brother.
yeah. So as we've been talking about for the last a while now, in the discussion, does the NCAA has fangs, and why are we more confident about this case compared to the Tennessee case in the past or other semi big cases that have happened in the past? And our big answer is they changed the way they do in the infractions process. They changed it away. It used to go to a separate outside committee that was kind of not really totally NCAA related, but now it's all in house and they're all keeping stuff in house. And recently, the punishments they've been giving out, I mean, i.e., Arizona State, i.e., a lot of these other, the Michigan punishments for Harbaugh for Burgergate, the beginning punishments for sign stealing gate, like the show causes for Minter and the other coaches, really underlines us the fangs that the NCAA still has, and they show it again here with Wisconsin. Former Michigan defensive line coach in 2024, Shrugs, got a I think it was a 1-year suspension and a 1-year show cause for his time at Wisconsin for making illegal phone calls, which is pretty much just what Michigan did for Burgergate, but subtracted by, divided by 10. And they thought they self-reported these violations, these level 3 violations, and they haven't had an NCAA violation since 2001, since before I was born, B. Moses. So, and
Yeah.
they thought these are level 3 violations. They self-reported, fully cooperated, and the NCAA comes back with a backhand slap of level 2, and they only were level 2 mitigated because of the fact that they fully cooperated and that they haven't had, they're not, and they underlined there that they haven't had violations since 2001. So why does this tie back to Michigan? One, if you want to go back to Michigan's last punishment for a scandal, you go look all the way back to less than a year ago, 10 months ago, B. Moses, was the last time Michigan was hit with significant sanctions for a cheating scandal. Two, you look at cooperation. The NCAA has underlined, I mean, we've underlined it like dozens of times here, but they've publicly underlined cooperation so many times with the Tennessee case, with the Arizona State case, with this Wisconsin case, and pretty much every case that they have reported has been the university was, we are nicer to them because of their exemplary cooperation.
Right.
And if we know anything about this Michigan case, we can guarantee you that their cooperation was anything but exemplary. So anyone who really thinks that the NCAA doesn't have fangs anymore, or they're not, or they don't think they're setting up Michigan for an absolute slam hammer, then you're just going to be mistaken. They're going to hit Michigan with 6 level one aggravated punishments or shoots. Level 1 infractions, level 1 infractions. They're going to hit them with lack of cooperation. So they're not. So that's going to. If you have great cooperation, it usually means you avoid a bowl ban. Usually, but the only thing that could stop you from avoiding a bowl ban if you have great cooperation is if you are a repeat offender. So Michigan is repeat offender, lack of cooperation, and the NCAA literally keeps repeating this stuff. And read the post. If you read the post by Wisconsin, I read that it was a Wisconsin blogger. At the very end of it, he goes, in Wisconsin, Wisconsin was helped out by the NCAA because it was self-reported, great cooperation. They haven't had a punishment since 2001. So this is a light if it's going to get. So if that coach got for one level 2 violation, got a 1-year suspension and a 1-year show cause, what is Sharon Moore going to get? A multi-year show cause? A year plus suspension? I mean, it's going to be worse than you think. It's going to be absolutely worse than you think. They're already on probation. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really, 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 really bad. And the NCAA setting it up. They're doing this all on purpose because it'd be weird for them to, not punish other teams for lack of cooperation or not give teams good brownie points for cooperation and then come and hammer Michigan for lack of cooperation. So right now they're underlying what it's cooperation, why it matters, and what they're looking for. And Michigan didn't cross any of those boxes. So it's setting up to be, the biggest hammer we've seen since they murdered USC in 2008 or whatever that was.
Yeah. Thank you for that explanation. And just let me read this because I know you can't see the screen. It's kind of tiny. It's for Ross Dellinger. It says, Charlie Baker tells at Yahoo Sports he did not attend the 2-day Michigan.
Sorry, my bad, B. Moses.
Oh no, what you're saying correlates with this though.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, it worked perfectly. So you good. It says, did not attend the 2-day Michigan infractions hearing last week, but received the report. That's one thing we're going to mention. And then the second thing, another quote from Baker. It was a thorough hearing of the issues, and everybody that wanted to speak their piece for the most part got it. Then it says he expects a ruling in 30 to 90 days. So what Funky was referring to was another tweet about the Wisconsin coach getting hit with the 1-year show cause or suspension, and for level 2. So I'm kind of gonna like bring these together because on Twitter, it's so funny, man. If y'all don't follow Buckeye Scoop Twitter, follow Buckeye Scoop Twitter. First of all, the tweets are phenomenal. The troll game is on 10, and then seeing scum fans crash out over the dumbest stuff is just chef's kiss on top of all that. So this is what I mean. First and foremost, when Buckeye Scoop Twitter tweeted out about the Wisconsin coach, who used to be at Michigan, all the Michigan fans, so what does that have to do with Michigan? This is not when he was at Michigan. You idiots, read and comprehend. He's trying to, and what's so funny is even non-Ohio State fans were responding like, that's not what he's saying. That's not his point. The point is, if they got this, what is Michigan going to get? Duh. But they were so, I don't know, they just all slow. But with that said, this going hand in hand is that Michigan fans have been trying their best, Funky, as you've seen, to slander and just flat out lie on Buckeye Scoop, claiming that we've been saying, oh, the hammer was going to come on June 6th and 7th. Like, we're still seeing that. Like, even on regular Facebook, like, it's something called like battleground groups. It's like Big Ten battleground groups. I don't know if y'all hip to that, but it's a bunch of fans and they're in there bantering, trash talking, whatever. But it's really dominated by Ohio State and Michigan fans, maybe some Penn State fans. But anyway, you have fans on there talking about, Buckeye Scoop changed their countdown again. I'm like, no, I had to step in and just correct them. Like, you're wrong. Here's the receipts. Here's the video I made clearly showing that we never said the hammer was coming 6th and 7th. Funky, what some of these Michigan fans, because they lack comprehension, is they were taking the countdown by Buckeye Scoop until the hearing as Buckeye Scoop trying to say that was the hammer. That's not what we were saying. Like, we've never said that. Like, never. We've been clear that, like, if anybody's been all over this timeline, it's been us. We've been telling you the timeline. We've been telling the hearing is coming up and it's going to be 30 to 45 days or more from the hearing. We've been saying that. I put that in the video, receipts, proof. You can't deny it. So anybody still pushing this is just a liar or just uninformed. So I'm saying that to say, we have a more definitive timeline for the hammer now because Charlie Baker said 30 to 90 days. But in conjunction to that, what Funky is saying is this is another foreshadowing because this is not the only foreshadowing. We believe, Justin Spiro believes, that the language in the Burgergate stuff was a major foreshadowing, setting things up for what's to come. And we know that the window for what's to come is 30 to 90 days. Before that, we didn't know. We just knew, NCAA and this stuff, you just don't know. But now we know. So that is what's so important about this projection, because it's like, dude, ask yourself, listen, it's going to be hilarious when we prove these people wrong and we laugh in your face and all that other stuff. But at the same time, I'm trying to show mercy on some of y'all. Like we're trying to show you. We keep showing you, like, see, here's proof, here's evidence, here's facts, here's logic, here's documented proof, and you just won't listen. So we keep telling you, look, there's another warning, another foreshadowing. Are you going to ignore it? Or are you going to heed the warning? And at least if you got too much pride to back off, maybe just keep your mouth shut. But most of these fans ain't gonna do that, man. I think they just ready to die on this hill. They don't care. They're not gonna give these suck guys any satisfaction. All right, man. We trying to prepare y'all. That's all. Right.
And they try to use Charlie Baker not being at the infractions meeting
yes.
as an anything.
Yes.
There's two things I want to underline. One, that Charlie Baker being there means absolutely nothing. Or not being there means absolutely nothing. That's just ridiculously copium. I mean, there's really the president never shows up to these committee infractions. I try to do research on it, and I could not find one example ever where the president showed up to the meeting. I don't think it's ever been required, and it would be really let's just say if he was at the meeting, then we would be talking about a different type of hammer right now. Be Moses. We wouldn't be talking about vacated wins and 1 or 2 year postseason bans. We'd be talking about the disbanding of the university football team. We'd be talking about serious death penalty type issues that would ruin Michigan football for the next 30-40 years, which is again not what we think is going to happen. We think the hammer is going to be 2-year postseason ban, vacated of wins and fines, but it's not the death penalty, which what I would think would be involved if the president had to be there in the meeting. That's just not necessary and never happens, and I've never seen it once. Second, the biggest thing you see from these Michigan insiders is they're saying that the Michigan and the NCAA are in agreement of the punishment. They're in agreement. So it's going to be a fine and show causes for Harbaugh and Stallions. And you got to ask yourself, wait, we've seen this before. We've seen if Michigan's in agreement, why can't they handle it on their own and let the parties that are not in agreement handle it on their own? And we've seen that before. There's precedent for this. We saw it in Burgergate. We saw it in the same exact scandal in for sign stealing. They let the defensive coordinator and some other recruiting guys handle it on their own, and their case is already done. We've already seen the report. Actually, we haven't seen the full report because the investigation's ongoing. But we saw the report that they agreed to a punishment, and the punishment is going on right now. They're getting punished right now for cheating. So what Michigan insiders will try to convince you is that they're just arguing about Sharon Moore. So why are they all at the meeting? Why are they all? So you're saying they're going to have a 2-day meeting to discuss if Sharon Moore's suspension should be 2, 4, or 6 games?
Right.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If Michigan settled with if they settled with each other, like no postseason wins, they settled on the fine, they settled on that stuff, it would have been already settled. They already been in agreement. We would have saw, negotiate resolution happened, and they would have came out and have been, yep, we've accepted a fine and a blah, blah, blah. But the NCAA and Sharon Moore and Stallions and Harbaugh are handling it separately. We're separating the parties. They've done it multiple times. They're allowed to do that. So any Michigan insider trying to tell you that all they're discussing is Sharon Moore's suspension is absolutely wrong. Is horribly wrong and horribly misinformed. Because Michigan could settle, they would settle. They don't need Sharon Moore's permission to settle. They don't need Jim Harbaugh's permission to settle. They need Connor Stallion's permission to settle. The university can settle whenever they want. But there's a reason why they're not, B. Moses, and that's because their settlement would include postseason ban and vacated wins. So I'm not sure if I explained that right. I was kind of stumbling there a bit, but hopefully you get what I'm saying, B. Moses.
I definitely get what you're saying. And It's just, bro, they be all over the place, man. When you really follow this stuff like we do, and just really pay attention, you can see the hypocrisy, you can see the lies, you can see the talking and talking out of both sides of your mouth type stuff from the Chris Baylesses and Isaiah Holes, and they don't know what they're talking about. And so, yes, they tried. There was one tweet I saw that was basically celebrating. Oh, well, Charlie Baker didn't come, so that's tough day for the Hammer, folks. What? Like, how? Like, this just kind of goes back to the misunderstanding about Charlie Baker's role. Like from the beginning. Well, the president said they won fair and square. He's not a part of the infractions committee. He's not handing out penalties. He's not out there investigating. He is the figurehead. Yes, he's the president, but he's not making the decision. He's aware of the decision, but he has a whole separate team who handles that. His comment, once again, y'all, in that moment, and remember, I'm having a little bit of grace on Charlie Baker, even though I still think it was a dumb comment. I have a little bit of grace only because this was so unprecedented. Because if you think about it, you as a president, you're under pressure being asked questions about your product, your biggest product next to March Madness, outside of March Madness, being on display. You got Stephen A. and, other people who are like, hey, they should not be in the playoffs. They were cheating. Why are they still in here? And so because of the investigation still ongoing, they couldn't, wrap it up based off their own bylaws. The point is, under the pressure of trying to make people feel better about the product on the field being legit, because he alerted the Big Ten Conference and basically Stallions was gone, he prematurely made that comment under the assumption that everything was good to go now because, hey, the cheater's gone. But again, the investigation was still ongoing. Months later, it was revealed that he delivered the hard drive from Bo Schembechler Hall that had all the cheating signs and everything on it to a player's apartment. This is in the rough draft of the NOA, y'all. This is not me making this up. This was in writing, okay? So again, Charlie Baker said that out of turn, probably just like, hey, let me put this out there because I don't want our product to be looked at like it's bad, and just didn't really think it through, knowing that the investigation was going to, not knowing the investigation was going to reveal much more about the situation. So anyway, with that said, regardless, and I'm saying this again because shout out to Sports Talk Jay, love you, brother, and others who keep pushing this. He can't walk his comments back. Those are hard comments to walk back. No, they're not, because he was never in on the decision in the first place. I just want y'all to understand that. So you got anything to say about that? Because that's one thing that's just been really irritating me, because it's like, come on, y'all.
And also, like, what are you... it's just ridiculous because he wasn't even saying, oh, they won, or this season, the whole season was fine. Like, they wasn't saying they didn't cheat at all during the season. And all he was saying is after they got caught cheating, they didn't have an advantage for the cheating. They no longer had an advantage of sign stealing because they felt like they gave the teams an adamant enough time to change their signs. Can we agree or disagree with that? Sure, but that's what he was saying. That's what he was claiming, and he wasn't claiming that. Yes, all the 7 games before that were like they're totally free, and no games are getting vacated because of that. No, that's not what he was saying. And also, the ridiculous part of the whole twist on his words is they're trying to use that as an example why they won't vote vacate 21 or 22. Like, but that doesn't even make any sense. What are you talking about? Well, how does him claiming that they won 5 games fair and square in 2023 prove that all 21 and 22 were fair game? And that, obviously the 7 games in 2023, and they literally gave Michigan State an option to opt out of the game.
Right.
They literally gave them an option to opt out of the game. So that clearly they thought they had a competitive advantage to that game. And that was straight from the NCAA to the Big Ten. The Big Ten and NCAA gave Michigan State an opportunity to do that, and they didn't, because Michigan State isn't cowards like Michigan is. So it's, that twist has always been ridiculous to me. And that's what they're going to do. They're setting up outrage, though. That's all they're doing right now, setting up outrage. They're setting up, look at what Charlie Baker said in here. Now he's going back on his words, and look at Pete Thamel said in a
Yes, good
year
point.
ago,
Good
and
point.
look at what's there. They're setting up outrage, and they're going to go back to it and be like, the NCAA sucks, and why are they so mean?
Yep, they're going to cry overreach like we've been telling y'all for months. Listen, y'all, I keep saying this, man, because I even got Buckeye fans, which is so annoying. Shout out to Mello if you in the chat. I know last week he was adamant about Buckeye fans, so-called Buckeye fans. Yeah, I said it. Basically, either rooting against Buckeye Scoop to be wrong, or just really siding with Michigan by default with just goofy logic and not applying themselves as far as understanding what's going on. If you don't know, ask questions. Just don't be saying stuff with your chest like you know. Basically, like somebody, for example, recently on my page, they was like, "Hey, B, I love you, man, but you said the hammer was coming and it's not here yet." It's one of those face palm things. Like, Jesus, man, this is a process. It's an investigation. It takes time. Does the length of it suck? Does it need to change? I would agree. A little too long. However, it's the process. It's public. You can research NCAA investigations, and you can see that this takes 2 to 5 years sometimes. It just does, especially when a school doesn't want to do a negotiated resolution. It's going to take longer. So anyway, I pulled this up on my screen because I think this was a good segue. I posted this on the Scoop board, and somebody sent this to me. It's like a good summary of Tony Petitti's letter. The Big Ten commissioner, Tony Petitti, responded to Michigan. This is back in November of 2023 when this first cracked off. This letter was the genesis of my hammer confidence. Okay. It was not Michigan hate. It was not, oh, I'm so salty they won and I want them. No, you cheated, Michigan. The NCAA and the Big Ten has confirmed so. And now it's just a matter of you of justice being served. So we're not even covering this scandal just because we hate Michigan. Do we hate Michigan? Yeah, we hate them. That's our rival. We hate them. However, you created this scandal, Michigan folks, your people, your school, your administration. You're the reason why this is even a thing. Hence why we're covering it, because it's a huge thing. Even if some of you don't believe so, when this finally comes down, everything's finalized, you're going to be like, dang, I should have been on this from day one. This is a huge story. But anyway, here's some bullet points of I'm just going to read a few, Funky, because what you said made me think about this, because I want people to understand like why this is so serious, and the Big Ten commissioner and the scathing language that he used responding to them. So just a few highlights. He basically said, let's see. The integrity of the competition must be preeminent. Its value is fundamental and far exceed the value of winning. Indeed, is the very source of any value in winning. So he kind of set the table with that. Okay. So notably, the university's November 8 response does not deny, listen to this, does not deny that the impermissible scheme occurred. Did y'all hear that? Instead, it offers only procedural and technical arguments designed to delay accountability. This is Tony Petitti giving them bars. All right. The existence of the impermissible scheme is proven. Okay, proven. This is not we think we got them. No, we got them. So when you hear scum people and media talking about they don't have any evidence, they say they do, but we're going to argue them out of that. No, they've said this from the very beginning. And the NCAA doesn't come out and say stuff like this, especially before the investigation is over. That's just not how they work. So if they did, they got the goods. They do. And there's so many more bullet points here. Let me see a couple more and we can move on from this. But yeah, evidence in university in response. Okay, so basically they're saying Michigan was trying to claim there was no evidence, right? All right, the violations were pervasive, systemic, and occurred over multiple years. Compromising the integrity of the competition violates one of the most fundamental aspects of sportsmanship. Okay. The university asserted in its response that it has not yet had an opportunity to review almost any of the evidence. This is a concerning statement to the conference in light of the extensive evidence provided to the university by the NCAA. So basically, y'all, Michigan is playing games. They were playing games from jump, trying to delay this and say nuh-uh, and the Big Ten and the NCAA like, huh? Like we got. Do you see all we have? And this was before Connor Stallions on the Central Michigan sideline, y'all. Before I go on, you got anything to jump in on this, Funky? I don't want to hog the mic.
I mean, you nailed it. That's literally. I know I wasn't on a show then, and I was not very active on a message board, so I can't really give my opinions as this scandal was in full force in 2023. But that was the turning point for me from being, skeptical hippo about the whole thing and being like, is this really a big deal? Is this not a big deal? Like, I knew it was something, but I wasn't like, I didn't really know. Like, there's a bunch of things that in my head that were kind of like, I just don't know how serious this stuff is being taken. And after reading that letter, that's all I needed. I didn't need to hear anything that Kirk would tell me or Nevada would tell me or what I would read online from whoever or listen to whatever show. All I need to do is read that. And anyone who I ever run into that's skeptical, you can ask any of my college football buddies that are friends that like college football, and we talk about the scandal. I'm like, you guys already know my opinion, but just read this article. And it's like, or not this article, this official paper by the NCAA, and you tell me what you think after. And every single time they're like, holy crap, what is this? I'm like, yeah. So if you're basing your opinion off an official paper by the Big Ten commissioner, kind of co-signed by the NCAA, then that's what I'm basing my opinion off. And they talk about compromised integrity. The scheme has happened. It was proven. There's no evidence that, there's whatever. It's very proven. It's not like it didn't happen. This is no freaking witch hunt like they're trying to make it out to be. And it was proven, and they talked about how serious it was and it compromised the integrity of competition. So this is literally why, if this article wasn't out here, B Moses, my confidence would be way, way lower. I'd be way more not really sure what's going to happen. But since this is out here, I'm like, and they punish them mid-season.
Yes.
That's not normal. That's never happened before. Ever. Never happened before. And so it happened this time for a good reason. But yeah, you did a nice job underlying it. And yeah, go for it.
No, I was going to say real quick. Yes. I'm going to listen to y'all. I'm going to read you this cluster right here. To me, after this, I'm done. I don't have to read no more. Check this out. To be clear, neither I nor the conference reached this determination based on rumor or mere summaries and descriptions of evidence, as the university contends in its response. The conference takes exception to the university's suggestion in its response that any determination in this matter is based on prejudgment and bias. The conference does not play favorites among its members. Failing to act under the extraordinary circumstances here could lead other conference members reasonably to conclude that the conference has chosen to favor the university over its other members. While the case will be processed through normal NCAA channels, the Conference Compliance and Reinstatement Committee shall review the case and may impose additional penalties if warranted subsequent to the NCAA action. Y'all pay attention to that. And the last couple things. This type and scope of the university's impermissible conduct at issue here is unprecedented. They don't use that language, y'all. I've heard Michigan fans, unprecedented. What's that supposed to mean? It means what it means. Like, y'all keep trying to act like you're not going to get severe penalties because there's no clear examples or anything. Nah, dude, they got this written in the bylaws to make room for people who come up with special ways to cheat. They still got it covered. We've already showed you this. All right, go look at the other shows. I have determined, that the offending action is severe. Okay, and then last bullet. Winning at any cost to the integrity of the game is unacceptable. I can keep going. I'm going to stop right there. I mean, there's so many bars from Tony Batiti in this letter that he just eviscerates them. I mean, he basically summarized Michigan's letter to them, their response, by saying, you're not claiming that you didn't cheat. You're claiming that everybody else cheats. So what we did is not that bad. And he goes on and lashes them over and over in this letter about how that's not an excuse and that is not a justification. Telling you, y'all, listen, I'm very convinced that the Buckeye fans who don't think the hammer's coming have not read this letter. I'm also even more convinced that Michigan insiders and fans have not even sniffed this letter. Now they still may be delusional after watching it. Reading it, because that's just who they are. But still, when you read truth like this and that seed is planted, it's kind of hard to uproot that guilty conscience once you see these bars. But I wanted to show y'all this, man, because people ask us a lot, like, "Oh, you're obsessed with this hammer, and why are you still talking about Michigan, and why is this a big deal?" This is a big deal because the conference and the NCAA thinks it's a big deal. And then not only that, when you know what they actually did, the actual on-field cheating, not tattoos, not giving a recruit an extra tracksuit or something, whatever. This ain't that. This is on-field affecting games. In the letter, it says they reached out to what's the group called, Funky Integrity, US Integrity. They said
Yes.
they reached out to them, which handles impermissible gambling, like basically screwing around with the gambling stuff. Like, this is serious. And just because it takes a long time for it to be finished and adjudicated doesn't mean it's not serious. And that's why I think some of y'all have been rocked to sleep based off the timeline. Oh, Hammer's still coming. Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, it is still coming. We actually have a timeline, like a window now. And so, yeah, nothing has changed. We feel the same. And most of the reason why we feel the same is because of this letter. And there's only been more added on since.
Yeah,
Okay?
and if you're trying, sorry, someone's asking where the letter is. For me to find the letter, like, just go in your search bar, look up Tony Batiti letter to Michigan infractions, and it should pop up. For me, it's like when you look it up, it's like shows up under like an Amazon thing.
Yeah.
But it shows up like under some like Amazon thing. I'm not even sure. Just click on it and you'll see the letter pop up. It's a file. It's a multi-page thing, and you can read through it. You literally just look up Tony Batiti letter to Michigan, and it should be on there from October 20 or maybe November, where October, November 2023. But yeah, you nailed it on the head right there. And people always say there's no precedent for this. You can't. They haven't vacated wins for this. Blah blah blah. There's no precedent for them vacating wins for this cheating scandal or postseason ban. Yeah, why is there no precedent, B. Moses? Someone tell them why there's no precedent. Okay, that has never happened ever. Nothing this bad has ever happened. It's the biggest cheating scandal of all times. Biggest on-field cheating scandal in college football history. So that's why we can't go out here and look at former cases and be like, see, SMU in 2010 illegally scouted this team and that game got vacated. No, because it never happened. Teams never got caught for it. I'll say that. And never got caught for it, and they've probably never done it because the outrage on it by coaches, you can usually tell how bad a thing is based off the outrage, and every coach that's getting interviewed is outraged. Because, but if they were doing it too, they probably wouldn't like, yeah, it's bad or whatever. They would have beat around the bush, but that's not what we're getting now. We're getting outraged, and I can tell you right now, Ohio State coaches are pissed, and they're hoping for the worst for them. They hope they burn so far down to the ground, and they're there's been talks of lawsuits coming out of them because for physical, emotional damages, and there's a lot of stuff working behind the scenes that I would not be shocked. And that's the stuff they're talking about. There's people talking about suing Stallions and suing the University of Michigan for letting this happen for emotional health damages, personal damages, getting fired. Like, affected more than just a win or a loss on the scoreboard. It affected literally affected personal lives. You know how it is in Columbus when after Ohio. We all know. Or I don't know. I'm not from Columbus, but from what I've heard from being friends with parents, being friends with kids on the team now, that that week, 2 weeks after we lost the game and we had to go back to play Tennessee, it was a different vibe there. It was a different vibe, and the parents were talking about it. The parents almost felt like the fan base turned their back on them. And that's kind of what happens when you lose to Michigan. The fan base kind of does turn your back on you, and it kind of does really, really make things hard for you to live your normal life. And that's why Brian had to pull his kids out of school. It was a whole thing. So there's real talks about this, and it's going to be more serious than what you think.
Exactly. And that's very well put. And, some people may try to dismiss that, oh, you're crying and you're just being dramatic. No, this is real life. And listen, nothing compares to Ohio State, Michigan. So don't take that this way, y'all. But that's the same thing in other rivalries. Just, look, Alabama, Auburn is crazy. Florida, Georgia, whatever. Like there's craziness and a lot that comes along with winning and losing that game. And so, you know, you just can't. It's not just about get over it and whatever. No, this is a big deal, and y'all will see sooner or later. Mickey, thank you for the 1999 and your consistency, always blessing us, hooking us up, and just showing love. We appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Also, Luke Nicely. So yeah, you're right on time, Luke. We are about to transition to recruiting. Your wish is our command. Let's get down to the recruiting update, please. OHIO. Sure thing, Luke. We're going to do that now. But did you have any last thing to say about the scum stuff before we pivot to recruiting?
No, that's all. That's all good for me. But I can get us right into the recruitment. So since last
Do it.
time we've been on the show, we've seen 4 silent commits, or maybe it was 1 and 3 later, but it was 4 total. Actually, was I here last week? Was I on the show last week, B. Moses, or did I miss?
Yeah, it
No,
was the
I
week before that you weren't.
right. Oh yeah, we've had 4 buck nuts posted by the Twitter, which means there's 4 silent commitments.
Yep.
And we got one of them. It was a 2028 kid. And if you've been on the board and you listened to my show yesterday, people asked for my predictions on who are the 4 kids. And first one was Aaron Thomas. I think he's totally in the boat. Offensive tackle, Arizona. And the other 2 were the Glenville kids. I believe that they probably told Ohio State on their camp visit. They both showed up to camp, which is a little odd for, a senior to do that, or incoming senior who already has offers and who already can commit there. They both showed up to the camp, and and later on, eyes were posted, and we talked to some people. We talked to Bill Green, talked to people around Ohio, talked to people around Glenville, and we're hearing that they are probably 2 out of the 4 Bucknuts. So they've both been predicted in my class for a while now. This is not any real new information, but that's so the 4. Sorry, that I'm tripling my words a little bit, but the 4 eyeballs: 1, Aaron Thomas; 2, Jameer Prez, defensive lineman, Glenville; and 3, Sincere Johnson, linebacker, Glenville. And the 4th one was the 2028 5-star, top 5, top 10 player in the class, who I'm absolutely pumped about, and I'm excited for it. I know a lot of people are trying to hold their excitement, but no, not me. Kids who commit that early, for me, in this new day and age, and what you commit to the Buckeyes, like, what you're getting. We're pretty open book, and I'm excited for him to become a Buckeye, and I'm very confident that he'll end up being, or I'm extremely confident. I think I'd give odds like 95.5 for him becoming a Buckeye at the end of the day. So I'm very excited about having all 4 of these kids commit. And people are wondering, where are these commitments that we were promised? Like, where are these commitments we were promised? We can't predict when they're going to commit if there's no set, like, commit date, B. Moses. Like, it's already hard enough to predict who's going to commit or about what time. And now getting down to, like, the days, I mean, that's impossible. But what I can tell you is the graphics are made. The graphics are already made, and they'll be, I mean, Sincere will commit on the 19th, and the other 2, that's the only one I can guarantee you. Sincere will commit on the 19th, and Aaron Thomas and Jameer, I have my predictions on it on 9 out of 10, 9+ out of 10 confidence. Pretty much the closest thing to a guarantee I could ever give you in this new day and age recruiting. So a lot of positive steam coming out of Ohio State. Had another great visit weekend this year that we can talk about it. But I'm going to give you the mic to talk about those 4 guys possibly joining the class, B. Moses.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought up Elijah Newman Hall, because I got a little bit of a connect down. Shout out to my homie Dave Jones. He's from Columbus, one of my closest friends. He lives in Tampa. And by the way, his son is named Genesis Jones. He's going to be a sophomore this year. He's starting corner at his school down there in Tampa, and you're going to be hearing about him very, very soon. Very good, very, very good player already, and it's going to be good. But I'm saying that to say, he's playing. His son's team is playing Blake. That's the school Elijah Newman Hall goes to week 1. And so he was kind of giving me some scoop about him down there. He said he's a freak. Like, just let me back up. Because, yes, I kind of chuckled when I seen the 2028. And then, of course, he's from Florida. And, there's a stigma on a lot of Florida kids about being game players. and and not sticking to their commitment and stuff like that. I'm like, on top of that, he's 2028. Yeah, I won't hold my breath. I get that, but I'll say this: number one, my guy Dave Jones, he was saying the Florida class down at the 2028 Florida class is crazy. They got so many offers already. He said there's an offensive tackle down there that has over 40 offers as it going into his sophomore year. Offensive tackle.
It's a
That's
big
crazy.
kid. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
already.
insane.
What is he? 15? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was saying that Ohio State offering and accepting his commitment is not surprising to him because that class in 2028, especially in Florida, is so crazy, and you got to get in on him. And the kid loves Ohio State apparently. And then guys like Jeremiah Smith and what we've been doing over the recent years, we've always recruited Florida, y'all. But Jeremiah Smith and even Brandon Ennis and just those Florida guys that we've recently really just done well with, mainly JJ Smith, I think is just going to make these guys want to stick even more. You feel me? Because it's like in past times, they would come up to Ohio State, be blown away by the city and by the campus. Like, oh man, y'all, I was told it was one cow and two traffic lights and a cow up here, nothing else. And this is crazy. You know what I mean? But then the Florida schools would, throw bags or whatever and entice them to stay home. But because of what we've done over the years, especially recently with a kid like Jeremiah Smith, who's world famous for real, I think that's going to really be an incentive for these Florida kids to really stick and stay, and knowing they can get to the NFL. Go ahead, jump in,
absolutely.
bro.
And we're the cool brand, B Moses. We're the
Yeah.
dope brand. It's. I mean, it used to be Bama. I mean, it was USC back in the day, and now it's Ohio State. I mean, you can look at it. We can literally sit down here and say, name me one season since I was born in 2005. You can go back. Give me one season or where you wouldn't want to be a Buckeye. Would be considered like a disappointing season. And we go back to a lot of the disappointing seasons we've had in the last couple of years, V Moses, and it's like, oh yeah, we went 10-3 that year. Oh yeah, we went 11-2 and won the Rose Bowl.
Right.
Oh, you went 11-2 and made it to the New York Six Bowl. Like, oh, we went 11-1 and lost 11-2 and we lost in the bowl game to Georgia. Like that's what we consider ourselves a disappointing season. I mean, there's a timeline where since 2020, I mean, there's a legit timeline that if you go back to since 2019, since that first Clemson Ohio State game, or not first one, sorry, the second one, the second Ohio State Tennessee or Ohio State Clemson game.
2020.
There's 2019.
2019.
I mean, there's a timeline where we don't get cheated versus Clemson in 2019. We make it to the championship. 2020 we did make it to the championship. 2021 I mean, rough year. We weren't I mean, that was not a very good defense that year, but whatever, we still won the Rose Bowl that year. Right. So we make it to the Natty, lose or win the Rose Bowl. 2022 should have made the national championship. 2023 make it to a New Year's Six Bowl, and then 2024 make it to the Natty and win the Natty. So that's since 2019. There's a legit argument that we literally should have been in the national championship, 4 out of 6 years? I mean, that's insane. That's unheard of success, B Moses. Yeah. That's only reason why we overlook it is because, one, we've came up short a little bit. We have. That's a fact. We have. Obviously, this year we didn't. This year we won the whole thing with the greatest run in college football history. But in the past, we came up just slightly short. But if you really look back at it, you're like, man, Ohio State was closer to being Alabama than any team was to being Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's the way I put it.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, we're closer to Alabama, or when I mean Alabama, I mean the Alabama, we're talking the 6 national championships Alabama in for 10 years. What was it? The class where they haven't had a class not win a natty and whatever it was. That's an insane stat. So we were closer to that than we were to the third place team in that 10-year span. And now people are starting to see that. So we got over the hump, and now we got JJ Smith. He's going to be the $1 billion man. We got Carnell Tate, who'll be a first-round pick. We have all these guys. We can pick and choose who our coaches are, really. We can go out there and get a Super Bowl winning head coach. We can go and get the best. We can get Chip Kelly. We can get, Jim Knowles was our coach for a while. I mean, the best of the best come here, and they go to the NFL and that we get the best of whoever needs a job. We got them. We have backup. We have coaches outside the top 10 that were starting at Power 5 conferences last year. Oh, sorry, not coaches that were, in the starting 10 coaches at Power 5 conferences last year from Oklahoma State, some. So I mean, we're the brand to be, and I really think those Florida kids pick up on it, Moses, and you could really feel that through. That's why we win LSU and grabbed a 5-star safety. What the heck? That literally, that's impossibly hard to do. Impossibly hard to do.
Yeah, it is. And then my guy Dave also was saying, and it's not that I didn't know we were respected in Florida, but living down there like he does and being in the trenches takes it to another level when he just emphasized like Ohio State is a brand that like Ohio State is that deal down there. Like he was saying, like, listen, they respect the Buckeyes down there in Florida. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing knowing, like kind of like thinking that just based off how we recruit, but it's another thing living down there and having your son play at a major high school and being in the mix and just like, yo, like Ohio State is that deal. And so it's just only going to get crazier, with more and more time because JJ Smith is only going to be a sophomore this year, which is insane. But I wanted to move on to another recruit who I want badly, and I believe we're going to get, and that is Mr. Sincere Johnson from our lifetime pipeline of Glenville High School in Cleveland, Ohio. He was here recently working out with the coaches. I know some of y'all saw that footage on Twitter. He don't got to do that. He got offers from all over the place in Alabama, Ohio State, but he did. I know, Alabama has been, taken seriously and all that other stuff, but I think he's going to be a Buckeye. You still agree, Funk?
Sorry, I was muted. I was saying yes. Yes,
Okay.
I absolutely think he's a Buckeye, or I could almost guarantee it. I mean, to the most I could. I mean, I hate saying that, then I'm going to look like an idiot. But let's just say that's the day before my birthday, V Moses. So that'll be a nice birthday gift Glenville can give me. So,
what day's your birthday on?
The 20th. So we'll be here. We'll be
June?
whatever. That's of June. So what? 5 days or 6 days, whatever it is. The day before his commitment, or the day after his commitment. So
I just learned something about you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what my birthday is?
I don't know your birthday.
June 22nd.
Oh shoot.
2 days after yours.
It's my golden birthday, B Moses.
Yeah, so actually, now that I think about it, I'll be doing the show on my birthday. So we'll have to do like a
double birthday celebration.
Podcast, bro. That's dope. I did not know that, man.
We can get Sincere Johnson on to help us out.
Yes, that actually shoot, holler at Dev.
We could.
And Mello, they make it happen. But no, that's dope. But yeah, that would be a great birthday present. Number 2 player in Ohio. Obviously really, really, really good player. To me, underrated. I think he's 5-star adjacent as far as his talent and abilities. And yeah, man, I don't want nobody to overlook him just because he's a Cleveland guy. And, oh, well, he's here in the state. And no, he's a dog. And so I do think he's going to be in. And what's the next closest announcement? I thought I just saw somebody announce or put out their announcement date that's coming up soon, other than Sincere. And it's slipping my mind.
I have no idea.
Okay. I wonder if it was the lineman Evers, but I could be tripping.
Evers is taking his visit to Florida State. I forget what week that is, but he's taking his visits. I mean, the next 4 that are, I mean, I would bet a lot of money on the next 3 guys to commit, are Sincere. I think Jameer Press probably commits close to him because they're buddies there and Glenville teammates. And then Aaron Thomas. Aaron Thomas is, I mean, I heard about 30 minutes after his visit to Florida State, he silently committed to Ohio State. That's what I was told. I was told, like, literally, I saw his post, 30 minutes later, got a text, Aaron Thomas in the boat. So I'm like, well, that makes sense. He just finished up going to his pop school in Florida State and realized that's not the place he wants to be, and he wants to be a Buckeye. So that's where my opinion's at, and that's what I reported first on Buckeye Scoop.
Yeah, and so I don't want about Aaron Thomas. I don't want y'all to look at his 3 stars and judge him. Like we star gaze too much, right, Funky? we look at stars a little too much, and I'm about to share my screen again. So, LaCharles Bentley, who's one of the most respected, if not the most respected O-line coaches in the country. And then on top of that, had a great career before he, couldn't play anymore. He said he's one of the best prospects in the country, right, Funky? Talking about Aaron Thomas. So, we love this kid. The ceiling is high. We like him a lot. Don't be mesmerized by, oh, it's only a 3-star kid. I kind of like, to me, it's like this. I give schools like Ohio State, Georgia, even Bama under Saban, a little bit of benefit of the doubt when it comes to taking 3 stars. Because for one, we develop. We put guys in the league, we develop. We got great coaches and all that other stuff. Especially, it's a matter of when they actually offer and when they accept the commitment. You're not just going to take a guy in the middle of a cycle who you don't think is good enough to play when you're in on other guys. We have our own evaluation. I'm just saying that. And this is not even just about people saying this about Aaron Thomas. That's just a gripe in general for me. It's just like, a 3-star. Okay. Like, we can, yes, 4 and 5-star guys is what we want mostly, because the numbers say most of those guys, compared to 3 stars will pan out. Like the teams with the most 4 and 5-star players usually win. We get that. But there's a ton of 3 stars who have done a great job in programs. So you got anything to say about that, Funk?
Yeah, I mean, our starting right tackle is going to be a redshirt sophomore this year. He's going to be a redshirt sophomore this year. And guess what he's ranked out of high school, B. Moses? A 3-star.
Yeah.
And also, I don't believe Aaron Thomas is going to end up a 3-star too. His rating's going to skyrocket. I mean,
that too.
He was told, or shoot, I'm sure you brought up his name. Oh, oof. The guy, the Lee Charles Barkley.
Charles Bentley.
Bentley. Oh my God, that's
that's funny.
Lee Charles Bentley, my bad. That's a rookie mistake. Yeah, I mean, Olave was a 3-star. Lee Charles Bentley said this guy's as good as anyone he's coached, and I trust him more than I trust any recruiting website. And I trust the Ohio State staff. And I'm really excited. He's a big kid, and we need body. People just complain just having bodies. So we've seen 3 cars turn out at Ohio State. So if you take a few 4 stars and a few 3 stars, odds are you're going to get a really good offensive line. But I never worry about stars. Recruiting stars for offensive linemen, to me, are basically useless. Like, basically. Obviously, obviously a 5-star and a 3-star, you might be able to tell a difference. But like a 4-star and a 3-star, or a 4-star and a 5-star, like, does it really matter? No, I truly to God don't think it matters. I think for skill position, it definitely matters. I think for quarterback, it matters. I think for running back, it sort of matters. But I think for offensive linemen and interior defensive linemen, it means next to nothing. Like, so that's just my personal opinion. But it is fun looking at the stars, and you will definitely see me still getting excited for 5-star offensive linemen. Don't get me wrong, I still want the 5-star offensive linemen. For offensive, I think they're harder to evaluate out of high school, and I think the games translate differently. Freaking Kirk was an under-recruited 2-star player, pretty much. Like, I mean, he ended up being a 3-star, but like for most, like he was like a very under-recruited 2-star guy, and he's, one of the best tackles to ever come out of Ohio State, All-American. Can't say that about much. So, yeah, I mean, that's just my 2 cents on it. I'd be really excited to get him. I've watched him play once in my life at a camp, and looked good to me. But yeah, do you want to talk about Luke Waffle next, B. Moses?
Yep, let's hop on Waffle, because I know this staff, and I wonder, I heard somebody call him Waffle. I'm like, I think it's Waffle, not Wafle. But
we're calling him Waffle no matter what.
Let's call it, exactly. Because I can see the game day signs with like the Eggo waffles on the picture with the. But yes, this kid, our staff loves him as well. Last time I checked, Funky, unless something changed, he was the #1 guy on our board in his position.
Correct. Number 1 on the board. Period.
Period. See, so there you go. And I think we're going to get him as well, man. I just don't.
I have a good feeling as well.
Everything that you've said, Buckeye, everything I've heard, he should be a Buckeye. It's only a matter of time. He's a perfect fit, culture fit, everything fit. So really like this kid a lot as well. And so I think somebody in the chat mentioned him. But yes, this is another kid I believe will be a Buckeye. And I feel like there was another kid. You got any update on Walmack? Any update on Walmack? Is his date still in August to announce?
His date's still gonna be in August, and
Okay.
Max Sutter's the kid who's supposed to commit June 26th. And I mean, I hate reporting like negative stuff, but the reason why I see him probably choosing Illinois or Alabama is because I mean, I know it's going to sound silly, but I really don't think Ohio State's looking to take a second tight end. I just don't think we are. I think if we were, I think we're looking to take a second. I think he would absolutely be a Buckeye, and I would be very confident in saying he would be a Buckeye. And I heard really great things from the visit. Him and the current commit for what's Corbin Fordham they got really close, and they're really good buddies, and they are willing to be on a team together. And I heard their visit was amazing. He was actually one of the big guys I've heard. Like, his visit was just 10 out of 10, needle mover. But I just don't think his compensation via NIL or the push from the staff is going to be enough to get him, because we're loyal to Corbin. And I've talked about that. There's been some reports from other people saying that we're trying to drop him from the class, and everything I've heard has been that's absolutely not true. That's BS. That's what I'll call it. We're absolutely loyal to him, and we think he's going to be a great player for us. And is Sutter a better player? Who knows? Maybe, probably. But we appreciate loyalty here, and we're looking for culture fits. So we're sticking with Fordham or Corbin, and we're not looking really for a second tight end. Obviously, that would have been different if we would have had a chance with a guy like, I'm forgetting his above Mark Bowman, the USC commit, or one of those freaky 5 stars.
Oh yeah,
but
gotta have
but
yeah.
but right now the tight end room's already. I think we already have 2 more bodies than we usually have. So that's just my 2 cents on him. So I don't expect good news there. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat it and I'll be really happy. So
Hey, it's all good. Listen, we're gonna tell y'all what truth we have. You know what I'm like, if it's not good news, it's not good news. Some people don't like that. I don't want to hear any bad recruit. Like, it's the truth though. If we're not getting a kid, we're not getting them. I mean, because the thing with us is like, I just never panic. I never understand the panic and just overreactions to recruiting, man. Just looking at our track record, it's like even now with the portal, we do so well with the portal now. It's just like, I'm not tripping over that. We good. Look at who else we getting. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, thank you, Jay Moses, another fellow Moses in the earth, repping that name. Appreciate you, and thank you for listening as well, man. Are you going to the Texas game? I am. I have not secured tickets yet, but I'm going. I need to figure out where I'm going to get tickets from and all that. I need to get on that. I need to holler at some of my connects. And if my connect, you out there listening, brother, text me so we can figure this out, because I got to go to that game with the wife. And especially she don't like going to cold games. That's going to be the complete opposite. It's probably going to be 98, but we'll be all right. But anyway, yeah, appreciate you, Jay. But yeah, so listen, I mean, just to kind of sum it up, and we're going to go ahead and hop off, is recruiting is going outstanding per usual. All right. We're never going to get all of them, but we're going to get a lot of them. And again, culture fit. I don't think fans understand culture fit. Culture fit is very important. Some guys we don't go after or go all in on and drop bags on. It's like we know what our culture is. Ryan Day was not joking when he said, he's not going to let anybody come in here and ruin our culture. And so that's how you vet guys. And so, I'm not going to question that. We're coming off a natty, and, the culture has not, been better. Shout out to my homie Mike Green, who sent the super chat last week and was asking, has the culture ever been better than it has now? And I can't say it has. So yeah, man, I'm excited. More booms are coming. And then somebody asked about Hyder. Funky, I think he's going to be a signing day type kid. What you think?
I mean, this is the type of kid Hyder is, and I'll say this: before he took his visit to Ann Arbor this weekend, his agent was there for 2 days prior to that.
Ooh.
What possibly could an agent be doing in that's his recruitment for you. And to be honest with you, I mean, that's not the type of kid I want. To be serious with you, it's just not straight money kid. Straight. That's all. That's literally the only thing that matters in that recruitment. So, to me, that's what I'll say. So, I mean, I think I think we should look elsewhere. That's just my personal take. I have no idea. He usually keeps his cards pretty tight, so I don't really know what's going on there, to be honest with you. And yeah, again, Sabian keeps his cards really tight to the chest. So for all I know, Ohio State leads. That could totally be the truth. But just reading the tea leaves, it seems like money is the only thing that really matters. So, and like you said, culture fit. That's not something we could find talented running backs elsewhere. Personally,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's looking for a $4+ million deal. I'll say that $4+ million guaranteed.
Yeah, see, and if we're not willing to pay that, then so be it. So I'm saying, like, people will freak out. I'm not freaking out, man. We're going to get our guys, and again, we have the portal as well, y'all. We just plucked Judkins, who's going to be a dog for the Browns, who was a dog for us, especially mainly in that down the stretch of the playoffs. We good, y'all. We good.
The portal's so good for running backs too. Bimos is sorry to cut you off.
No, go
but
ahead.
The portal's so good for running backs. You could pretty much just hit the portal every year for running backs and be totally fine. And then we can just recruit in state too with Bo Jackson and Favor Aki and we're gonna. I mean, I feel good with where we are with other running backs, and I can see us expanding that board a little bit. And I still think we're in the saving Hyder's sweepstakes because I think we have a lot else to offer, and we're still going to give them a really big money. Don't get me wrong, we give these 5 stars a ton of money. We give them a ton of money. We're paying well, so we're not overpaying, and we're not going to exceed BS for a player that we don't deem as valuable. But like players like Luke Waffle. We probably value him more than other schools do, so we're probably giving him the biggest offer he might see. So there's just stuff like that. Just, changes per recruits and per other teams value the running back better than others. I mean, Ohio State, I can tell you we probably value it, but not as much as we do
other positions,
quarterback or offensive line or whatever the heck.
No, that makes sense. I think it's going to come down to is Hyder. This is my prediction. It'll come down to is Hyder willing to take less money up front from Ohio State before a better, higher ceiling at Ohio State. I think that's what it's going to come down to. One last thing. I was looking at the chat with the Bruce Wayne and the back and forth and all other stuff. I don't know if you watched this show or not, Bruce. We ain't got time now, but we've done multiple shows where we've debunked the notion that vacated wins is not on the table. Vacated wins is not only for ineligible players. We showed a source for the NCAA in writing and with bullet points explaining the criteria of why and how they can still vacate wins, even if there wasn't a player that was technically ineligible on the field. That's been debunked. We eviscerated that. So we got to stop pushing. We got to be a little more informed. And I'm not even going to knock you, Bruce, because maybe you didn't know that. But we showed you this. Receipts. Okay, not opinions, not guessing. This is from the NCAA. On top of that, there's additional bylaws that cover that. It covers it. Like everything is covered as far as vacated wins, bowl bans. It's covered by the bylaws and the criteria in there. And it's also covered by the fact that Michigan has not cooperated. This should be considered aggravated because they've been obstructing the investigation, not cooperating, lying, etc., repeat offender, on probation, all of that stuff. So this is why we say what we say, okay? Not just hoping and wishing because we hate Michigan. We've given you facts and receipts on why we say this, okay? So just wanted to end that because it's been a long debate in this chat that I've noticed. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and hop off. We appreciate y'all. Another great show. Over 400, almost 500 people watching live, which is great for the off season. That's great in general, especially the off season. So we appreciate y'all, and we'll be back next Sunday for our birthday celebration.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, Sincere Johnson commitment podcast.
Let's go. Yeah. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great next weekend's gonna be a great show, and I could not wait. Thanks for being here on Father's Day. Happy Father's to you, especially B. Moses. Take your time out of your day, and I can't wait to go watch the rest of this U.S. Open.
Yes, sir. And I'm about to go give me some wings.
Yes, sir.
Peace and go
Peace
Bucks.
out. Go Bucks.
All right.